Oh, what's up? What's up, everybody? Got a little bit of Alex's slurp at the beginning of the
Yeah,
podcast
it's
there.
starting as you started. Yeah, sorry.
No, I just took it off of mute, and then just all of a sudden it was
That's how
like
we start.
slurp, slurp.
Yeah, I'm drinking tea.
Welcome everybody to episode number 92 of the Unknown Games podcast, where we talk about Japanese video games as well as video games just in general, our life here in Japan, and of course the occasional fast food or limited edition meal, snack, drink in Japan. Yeah, that's us. I'm your host Adrian, and joined with my co-host of the most, the game duck himself, the waterfowl, spelled Foul, Alex.
So I'm tired.
This making was like, "What's up? I'm tired." why are you tired, man? What's up?
It's Monday. That's why.
I mean, Monday it's a day. Monday.
Mm.
I had this thought about like what would happen if we just eliminated Mondays. Would we then hate Tuesday? And if we kept
Well,
eliminating all the days except for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, would we just would we hate Saturday like Friday?
well, Iceland did that experiment where they reduced the work week by like 1 day, so they only work 4-day weeks, and it was deemed an overwhelming success, and they didn't suffer a loss in productivity.
I mean, I could see
So,
that.
yeah, I mean, if you like, it's doable. I mean, one country did it. I don't know if Japan would ever do it, but
No,
you
I
know.
can't. Well, I mean, Japan tries to like give more holidays every once in a while. Like they'll just add more to the calendar year
Right.
to specifically curb, you know, employment troubles for people, or at least overworking. Give people a mandatory break, even though some people still do kind of work on the holidays. But I mean,
Yeah, it
hey,
depends on what the kind of job you do. So people that work in like the restaurant industry, retail industry, like when I guess like services like power electric, that kind of internet, like they don't get the same kind of holidays, but yeah.
yeah. And yeah, so today we're pretty much going to be talking about the Nintendo Switch OLED model. I think that's the official name. But before we do, make sure you, if you're listening here on YouTube, thanks for joining. And if you haven't, and you're listening via iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, any of the audio services, thanks for tuning in. Be sure to follow the YouTube channel, and hopefully you can catch us as we go live. It is pretty early. We stream at 9 p.m. Japan Standard Time, which is around 8 a.m. U.S. Eastern time. So then you can roll it and apply it to whatever time zone you're in. I only have a reference for U.S. time zone. I don't know Canadian time zones, but
It's the same time zone, dude. If you, I don't know if you realize this, but Canada's on top of
don't
the US.
no.
You know that Canada was on top of the US.
Yes.
What country did you think was above the US? It's like barren ice, polar
Look,
bears.
the only thing up there is Alaska. Nothing else exists.
There's like a huge ass gap between like Alaska and the US. Just I don't know what's there. I don't understand why people don't live there. It's perfectly habitable.
Man,
No, honestly, no.
wait,
Canada. I think Canada's like 40% habitable.
but
A
for
lot of it is just ice, to be honest.
but for Canadians, do you all get? Does the government pay you to live there? It sounds kind of weird, but I know we pay people to live in Alaska.
So the
Like
part
they
of
get like
Canada,
stipends.
yeah. So I mean, like the most populated part of Canada is of like no surprise, the southern half of Canada. That's where people can live. Like that's habitable.
Uh-huh.
Um, but once you get past like a certain like latitude, then it's obviously it's just goddamn ice and water, right? No one can really live there. Um, so the only reason you would need to be there is like I assume it's legit, but it's like research
Research?
facility. Yeah, research
Yeah.
facilities. That's like where I don't know what research they do up there, to be honest.
I'm
And
telling you, man,
yeah.
gene therapy. I don't know. There's something
And then
where
like maybe there's like some fishing vessels up there, but for the part of Canada where no one really lives, um, it's like just research. And I think we studied this a little bit in school, but not too much, or at least I didn't pay attention. But like some other countries have like challenged Canada's like ownership of that land. Like they'll come
What
and like just be there, like they'll put a flag there just to see if Canada gets like pissed off enough to be like, oh, we're doing research
what
for real, you
countries like
guys.
what
Yeah.
countries are close enough to just want to do
Uh,
like
Russia, I think maybe has done it. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on
Russia
that, but
comes
yeah,
in?
yeah. And Greenland's not that far to be honest. Like
Oh,
just
that's true. That's
yeah,
true. I mean, I
yeah.
guess yeah. We don't want like any Russians listening to the podcast to uh, confuse Alex's words with a threat of Canadian dominance or some sort of
Well, I mean, like lots of countries, not lots of countries, but like countries will do that. Like there's a part of a country that nobody has anything. We don't use that, but like the
yeah,
country
yeah.
will be like, yeah, that's ours. Sure, that's
I'm
ours.
I'm sure someone's just I'm
Yeah.
sure it happens all the time, all the
But
time.
yeah, that no one lives there, and then there are parts that are way the hell north that some people do live, but it's like population of like I want to say like 10.
Jeez,
So
that
yeah,
has to be rough. I mean, it's just talking about things like that. In here in Japan, and this has nothing to do with the cold, but in terms of the heat, man, it's getting rough outside.
it's
It's
getting hot.
getting
Yeah,
it's getting hot. It's finally getting hot now.
I went outside the momentarily today to toss out some garbage, and I was like, damn, it's hot.
It's getting muggy. Like I think from
Yeah,
Saturday because
yep,
it
it's
was
humid.
raining all the time, and
Oh
now
my
it's
god, I don't know about your area, but like where I was, it was
is it
thundering
oh
yesterday, right?
Sunday? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yesterday it was thundering so loudly. I like opened my curtains. It was like I was in a rain cloud. Like it was
Dude,
just
it was
gray.
pouring. It was
Mhm.
pouring yesterday. It was just one of those summer storms,
It was
which
so rainy.
it felt good outside. I went outside for just like 10 seconds just to, because I don't know, but like thunderstorms have some of the best air temperature.
Uh, I would agree with you in Canada. I don't know about Japan. I feel like it's still humid.
It was, yesterday it wasn't humid. It was like that perfect cool. It was perfect. And I was like,
Okay.
I
Because
love this, but I hate the
I
rain.
love rain. Yeah, I love rainstorms back home, like in Canada, especially
Mhm.
after a rainstorm. Like, man, it feels so good. Like, it's just super nice. But in the summertime in Japan, like after a rainstorm, you're like, oh, let's go
It's just
outside. It's like,
muggy.
oh, nope, it's fucking gross. Yeah,
Especially like in the city. I remember like
yeah,
sometimes if I would go to Shibuya or something after it would do that and like you just see the steam just rising from the streets and you're
yeah.
like
I hate it. Mhm.
ugh it's
Yeah,
nasty.
I'm gonna move to like Hokkaido, man. Like, I don't. That sucks here. Yeah.
And I guess finally before we do start moving on to the topic, remember you can also follow us on Twitch. You can follow myself at NinjaTrix, NinjaTrix, and then yeah, I stream every Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 9 p.m. And you can also follow my co-host Alex at Route24, Route.
24. Yep.
Yeah, I keep thinking that I'm gonna spell 24 sometimes.
Like number two, number four.
Yeah, I was gonna say like two
Yeah.
four. There we go.
Yeah.
And then after, yeah, we'll let you know what we're playing at the end. I mean, do you want to let any people know what you're playing right now?
Like on stream, I'm playing Dragon Quest still, 11, and then on Thursday I was playing FF 14, which is fun.
I've
That's
seen
it really.
a lot of people still playing that. It's getting popular. I was watching a couple streams today.
Of
Music
14.
is yeah, yeah, music is good, man.
Yep.
I'm
Music
enjoying
is
just
good. Yeah, music is good.
I'm enjoying just listening to it and then just like kind of watching people play it.
It's got a good
Uh,
soundtrack. Yeah.
so that's what's happening there. But yeah, moving on into the topic or just what we'll be talking about, the Nintendo Switch no, I was gonna call it LED, but no, the OLED was unveiled last week, and
Yeah.
shout outs to friend of the show, virtually talking, aka our boy 80 was like, yeah man, can't wait to see the UGP crew stomp on this or talk some crap about it.
I was streaming actually last week on Tuesday, and then Ehe, like, co-host of that podcast, kind of just drops in. He just comes in, jumps in the chat, and he's like, Nintendo Switch OLED. I'm like, what are you talking about, buddy? So
Right.
I like open the link. We stop by a pause Dragon Quest. We like start watching this trailer or this announcement video, and I'm like, wow, that's what it is, yeah.
That's exactly what it is. It is literally the Nintendo Switch OLED model. That's the official name, I guess, still for now.
Yeah,
7-inch OLED screen, and I guess I remember reading an article, so the bezels are a little bit thinner.
yeah.
So
You
you,
can see in the video here. Well, in the video that I'm watching is like 10 seconds behind, but you can see the bezels are smaller,
yeah, yep,
and
and wider adjustable kickstand. They also did
yeah.
some things with the audio, I guess, making it a little bit louder. But outside of that, they haven't come out and said anything about the Joy-Con drift, if that's fixed or
Well,
any
no,
type
I
of
yeah, but
yeah.
to give Nintendo like not credit, but in their defense, it's not like in a hype announcement video
You
they're
wouldn't,
gonna
yeah.
pimp that
Fixed
as a
Joy-Cons.
feature.
Fixed
Yeah, fix
Joy-Cons.
Joy-Con drift. I'm like, they're not gonna say that. They
No,
might they
no.
would say maybe like Gen 2 Joy-Cons, I think,
Yeah, something like
would
that,
be like a
like
marketing, yeah.
rephrasing it into a better term.
Yeah.
That's one of the things. And then finally, of course, the wired Ethernet port built into the back of
The dock.
the dock,
Yeah.
which is a nice enhancement. But everyone and anyone has probably already has one of those dongles, those cheap dongles.
Yeah, if you care enough, okay, here's the thing. If you care enough about having your Switch dock wired, you probably just use like a USB, um, like USB to Ethernet adapter.
Right, right.
But the downside of that is that it burned up one of your USB ports.
That's true. That's
Now
true.
I don't know. Now here's the thing. Like I don't know anyone actually who uses the USB. I mean, to charge. Like
Yeah.
you leave a cable plugged in to charge your pro
Controller.
controller. If
Yeah.
you your pro controller, if you have one.
Okay. Okay.
Um, or I maybe like your if you still play Pokemon Let's Go, like your Pokeball Go thing. Um, is there anything else that I'm missing that would need charging? But anyways, probably just like a controller, right?
Right, right. I mean, I guess
Um,
yeah. There's not much. I mean, you
so I
can't really
don't
hook up hard
know.
drives or anything. I don't guess. Maybe you can.
So in Japan, I can think of two things that you would use a USB port for. You would use it for to charge a Pro controller, or two if you have a friend, or you would use it for the microphone for the Joy Sound karaoke in Japan.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's actually pretty cool. That's nice.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's
But
not
like
worldwide.
nobody outside of Japan even gives
Yeah,
two
it's
shits about that. I don't think you don't even have karaoke outside of Japan. I think it's Japan only, right? Yeah.
yeah. I think
Yeah.
it's just Japan only, and you still have to pay for the service, so it's just but it's
Yeah,
fun,
but
you
by the
know.
way, oh, you don't have a Switch, never mind. But I
No,
gotta
no.
say, I gotta say, like, if you do have a Switch and you are in Japan and you do like karaoke, it's a killer deal. Like, it's so cheap. It's
It,
like
Probably the
it's like
perfect thing
five
for
bucks.
the pandemic that or
Yeah,
the event, the worldwide event that happens.
honestly, it's like $5 or something like that for like a whole night.
Oh,
Which,
for
if
real?
you,
That's cheap.
yeah, it's
That's
so
dude. That's
cheap.
so cheap.
It's so cheap. It's
Why
so cheap. Yeah.
you just go and get your own,
Yeah,
food
and
and
it's
alcohol
the
or
Joy
drinks,
Sound. It's
whatever,
like
and just
the
do.
Joy Sound library. It's not gimped or anything. Like it's the Joy Sound like song library.
And you still and the Switch itself is well, I guess you I don't know how that works, but
You've been to karaoke because anyone
well,
who does case. Yeah.
oh,
So
yeah, I
anyone
was
who's
trying to
never been
figure
to
out does the Switch act as like the panel, but it has to be
yeah.
docked though, right? It has to be in the dock.
That's a fucking good question.
That's what I was trying to figure out. How does that work?
I'm thinking. Oh my god, you're right. I'm thinking of the Wii U. My bad. Sorry.
Okay,
Uh, uh,
I'm sure
okay.
it's probably still on there. It's probably still an
Let's
app.
just backtrack here. So like um, okay. So anyone who's never been to karaoke in Japan is it's you're like private booths basically. You kind of just pay for like your group of people. You go into a booth. They have their size differently based on your size of
Right,
group.
right,
And there's like a TV in the middle, and there's like two microphones that are just wireless charging, like on a dock or whatever. And then there's like two panels on the table, and you would like look up the songs and like reserve them from those panels or touch panels. Pretty easy to like figure out.
right.
If you have the karaoke like game for the Wii U, your Wii U tablet controller would act exactly the same as if you're in karaoke. And then you just plug in your microphone via USB into the Wii U console. The Switch also has karaoke, like we were just mentioning, but since like you're right, I kind of missed like slipped my mind. The Switch has to be docked for it to come out of a TV. You can't use it as a touch panel. I think maybe you can undock it, reserve your songs, and redock it,
And then
maybe,
redock
but
it or something.
yeah, it's
Okay.
kind of it's a bit janky, but anyways, like as we were trying to say is now now the Ethernet port won't burn up one of your USB ports if you needed them.
If you need it, which is it's a nice thing. I do know that they did say that it's coming out on October 8th. I believe
Right?
that's worldwide, and it's gonna cost. I think it's 50. It's just $50 more than a normal Switch.
Is it only 50?
It's only 50. It's only 50. I mean, we're not getting much here.
Are they doing a price drop for the OG Switch or no?
That's gonna be a good question. I assume that they're going to phase out the old Switch.
I don't know.
That
I
would make
mean,
sense. Like, there shouldn't be three, like they so at the end of the video they show all of the the Switch models, and there's specifically just the three left.
Yeah. So there's the light, the non-OLED, and the OLED. And if they showed off all three in the video, I don't think that means they're phasing out the.
Oh no, you are correct. You are correct. This Nintendo Switch OLED model, and the Nintendo Switch Lite.
Yeah, so
So
they're
they're
not
all in,
phasing it out. Yeah, so the
dude,
old
so
Switch is now
crazy.
gonna be just like a middle tier, basically, right?
Is it a middle tier? What tier is it? Because
It would
like
be middle tier,
clearly,
yeah, because the light can't be docked, and you can't pull off the Joy Cons from a light, right?
but right. But
And then the
what's
Switch OG has all that capability, all that good stuff, and then the Switch OLED model has an OLED screen, I guess, and
yeah,
that's it.
but it's
And then
if
a
there's
nice
some
white
sort
dock,
of
by the way, and a nice
yeah,
white dock. Yeah,
a nice white dock if you
yeah.
want to switch up those colors. See what I did there? You want to switch up those colors? Okay. Anyways, but I
You're
mean
going to jail
like,
for that.
oh gosh, Nintendo, don't do it to me. But something inside of me feels like that something was off. Something about this model feels off. Like it was supposed to be. I don't know. Like it doesn't seem like it was supposed to be a replacement, but it feels like it was supposed to be a replacement for something. Like
I mean, they should
honestly,
have just replaced the OG Switch, to be honest.
yeah, and that's what's kind of confusing me. And of course, the Switch Lite is there, but I would have loved to have the Switch Lite with a OLED screen, right?
You mean like just get rid of this? I mean, here's
Just
okay.
turn this into the Switch Lite.
I
But
got
then,
to
you know, and
no. I think I have to say I think the Switch Lite is pretty important for Nintendo because if you like remember, like they don't have a portable console anymore. They don't have a 3DS. They killed the DS line. It's gone, right?
right.
So I think the Switch Lite has replaced Nintendo's like that hole that the DS has left
Kind of
for kids who
mm,
like their parents are just gonna buy them like a portable
the
gaming console. Like, let's be straight here. What are they gonna? They're not gonna get a Vita. So like,
right. I mean,
yeah,
but just as easily, you know, how many kids already had just a normal Switch? This is,
I
I
don't
mean, like
know.
this is probably for like you know maybe their younger brother or sister or something, and that everyone and honestly, it's cheaper. It's like what $200
Yeah, the Switch Lite is so cheap.
for Switch Lite. So I mean, it's
Yeah,
like, hey, we got two Switch Lites instead of getting a Switch for our two kids. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
I think that's definitely for like families. Like, it's definitely for like little kids. Because like, if you're in a parent, if you're a parent, not a new parent per se, but if you're a parent and you're gonna get your kid like a gaming console, that's the default. That's it. That's the Switch Lite. And I think
Yeah,
like,
that's it.
yeah, a $200 purchase is way easier to sell than a $300 purchase, right? Because
Right.
it's just like, it's just you. Let's say your kid's like 10 or whatever, like, and maybe you don't like. I don't know. Like, yes, the Switch is like portable, absolutely, but like, if
It's a
if they're
strange
never
thing
gonna
because
be docking it, if they're never gonna be docking it, then like, who cares? Like,
it's one of those things where if and correct me if I'm wrong, but the Switch Lite and the Switch have the same screen, correct? Like the same, like they're both
I
plastic screens, correct?
they're
Like
both plastic,
they're
yeah,
both
but
plastic, so
I
they
think the
feel
Switch Lite is small. It's a smaller screen because
it's
it's a
smaller,
smaller
and
console.
it
Yeah,
does. I think the base is a lot easier to grab. When I've seen it in the store,
yeah, it's pretty comfortable.
it
Honestly,
feels
it's
you know
it's comfortable.
just
Yeah,
comfortable to hold. You don't feel like you
yeah,
might potentially break it if you drop it. I
yeah.
mean, the Switch, of course, Nintendo stuff is always sturdy, but uh, so I mean, this is the thing a lot of people have been kind of looking into the Switch Lite. I'm not Switch Lite, but the Switch OLED, and you know, there's been some press reviews or like previews, more to say, of you know, hey, we got our hands on it. What's new? And overall, I mean, everyone's relatively underwhelmed. I mean, this trailer video is at 75% thumbs up. There's 35,000 thumbs down out of 195,000 thumb ups. And I feel like everyone's just asking like who is this for? What was this for?
Yeah, I think okay. Here's the thing. So what's new on the OLED is basically the screen, the speakers, the dock, right? And that's it.
Right, on the unit itself. Yep,
Right.
that's it.
So if you already own a Switch, like a lot of people do, I don't. It's not worth it. Like, it's probably unless you can like sell your current Switch and like make most of your money back.
Right.
I don't think it's worth it to get the OLED screen, and you know, especially if you only or primarily play your Switch docked on a TV,
Hmm.
you're not even going to see the benefits of a new Switch. You're not even going to see the benefits.
You're not
Doesn't
going
matter
to
to
use
you.
that 7-inch screen. You're not going to yeah, you're not going to
Yeah,
see it or hear
you're not
it.
going to see the
And
benefits.
there,
So who is it for? I think this is for people who don't have a Switch yet. Like, that's really it.
And I wonder, out of all those people who don't have a Switch yet, so there's people like me, right, who were holding out for a more powerful hardware, slightly more powerful hardware Switch, the Switch HE Pro, whatever you want to call it. And then there's people who might have be in the same boat as the Switch Lite, right? They didn't have a Switch, and they're like, hey, Switch Lite, I want to join Animal Crossing with my friends, kind of deal, and like, hey, let me go pick up this, or maybe get it for my kid, whatever. But there's like those two spectrums. I don't know how many people like me, I guess more people who play a lot of games, are will still even pick it up. And I don't know how big of a market that is, because that's a small part of the market. The hardcore is always a smaller part.
The people that
So
are gonna get us the OLED Switch.
the OLED Switch, yeah. So
Yeah, it's
that
it's
just
for people
leaves
that own. Yeah, I think it's people that don't own one and people that like really want an OLED screen. I
that
guess.
OLED. I mean, so you had a Vita, and
Yeah, I still have them. I've three technically.
how was the OLED experience for you on the Vita? I mean, a lot of people love the Vita.
Yeah.
There's fun to
Yep.
like comparisons between this
Mhm.
thing and a Vita.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, that's a good question actually. So, the OG Vita was an OLED screen, which was a pretty big selling point back. I mean, apparently it still is with the Switch OLED. But the OG Vita was an OLED screen, and then when they did the Vita Slim, the revision,
Right, right.
they went back, not back, but they went to an LED screen, right?
LED. Right.
And to be honest, like I noticed immediately. So I was using an OG Vita, because I had a launch Vita, and then I went. I remember I was at Yodobashi Camera or whatever, right, in Tokyo,
Uh-huh.
and just after the Slim Vita was announced and was on sale. So I went to the demo Vita, and I remember picking it up, and I remember being like, this screen looks like garbage. Like this screen is washed out. Like the blacks are not. They're kind of grayy.
Hmm.
Colors just aren't as saturated and vibrant. Like I could tell immediately that I'm like, this is like not a good screen, right?
Right, right.
That's okay. That was my first impression of the Vita Slim. But I eventually did buy a Vita Slim, just because I was tired of switching my accounts back and forth between my Japanese and my English accounts.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I was like, I'm just gonna get a second Vita. I don't give a shit. And then I started playing primarily on my Slim Vita, and I gotta say, after a while, it stopped bothering me. I just stopped caring. So
I mean, that makes sense. It is the same argument of like, if you like, you see two TVs next to each other, one of them costs $1,000 more, and the other one obviously is less. You're going to see a difference. But when you take the $1,000 less TV home,
that's the only TV you see, right?
this is the only TV you see. It looks great. It looks wonderful. You won't even care about it.
Yeah.
Uh,
So does it matter? Yes, it matters. Does OLED look really good? Yeah, OLED does look really good. But is I don't know. I just don't know who cares that
that
much. You
much,
know what I mean? Like,
right? I mean, but is there a better battery? I mean,
it
like not
would
better battery, but like drain less battery.
it should. I mean, if the CPU is as efficient and the battery is the same size, it should last longer just because OLED is more efficient. And that's it.
Okay, okay. Well, we can hope that that's the thing. Like I said, they haven't said anything, at least from Nintendo, that I've read in the past week, that says, hey, it has a better battery life or slightly longer or anything like that. They just, I mean, what's funny about this is the way that it was announced. It was just a tweet.
It's like it snuck up. Yeah, it's just
It
like,
was
hey,
a, it
what's
was
a
a tweet.
surprise? Yeah,
A
surprise
week before
bitches.
that, they had a. I guess, I mean, who knows? Who knows? But I mean, for me, I'm not personally. I'm not going to upgrade. I'm just because I'm paranoid now because we're getting closer to the end of quote quote the Switch's life cycle,
Mhm.
and it really does seem like, hey, Switch 2. This feels like the DSi, right? It feels like the
Okay,
DSi.
okay, but in the DSi's tiny defense,
It
like
had a camera. It had a
it
camera.
it added
It
features.
added
It
features.
had a camera. It was the first console, I believe, to have some kind of store. Like there was DSi downloads that were exclusive to DSi.
That's true. It
Um,
had one exclusive DSi game.
what was it? I
I
remember.
believe it's a Zelda title, correct?
What? Hold on, I'm gonna look this up right now.
If I remember, it's been a long time.
DSi. It had
Might be two, but
CSI Unsolved, Earthworm Jim, Photo Showdown, Picture Perfect Hair Salon, and System Flaw. Oh, and something called DSi Wear. Oh, there's a ton of no, my mistake. DSi Wear games, which is a huge fucking list. So there you go. It did have exclusives.
Oh, it had
Yeah,
it had
okay.
his thing. Okay,
It did have
okay.
exclusives. So in the DSi's defense, like there was like you could maybe justify it if you're like, I gotta get fucking flip note. You know what I mean? So like maybe.
Hey, and I mean that's I didn't have a DS for the longest time. That's how I got a DSi. So it worked for me. It was like, okay, you know what, this is cool. Big screen, big light, all the nice features. This
Yeah.
is. I'm afraid that there's just literally going to be a Switch Pro, whatever, Switch Two. I'm just calling it Switch Two. Switch Two
Yeah.
is a year later. Announced a year later, comes out. Heck, spring, fall, whatever the next year. I can
So
wait.
the question is from here, what does Nintendo want to do with the console generation? Because we were talking about this before, but the Switch technically is in the same generation as the PS5 and the Xbox Series X and S, right? It launched way earlier, but it's technically, if you want to go by console releases, like it's in the same gen, right?
Right, right.
So Nintendo's kind of always been like either like like I don't know how you can look at it, like way early, like a super forerunner
Mm-hmm.
to the gens. So if there is going to be a Switch 2, then I think it would be probably in, I want to say, 2 to 3 years from now, when the PS5 and the Xbox Series XS is like just kind of in when they're starting to get going, like in the middle of their gen,
Right.
and then Nintendo is just like, here's the Switch 2. Now the thing about the Switch 2 is like, what is it going to be? You know what I mean?
I mean, I,
Uh,
I feel like here's the thing with Nintendo stuff is they always have a gimmick, right? There's always something for the next console outside of the Wii U.
to like
Well, even
justify it,
the
to like
yeah,
make
to
it to like
justify it.
make it like
Right.
a gen.
Right.
I was talking to a friend of mine actually about the Switch 2, and we were saying that maybe it would be similar to how Nintendo handled the Game Boy consoles. So when the Game Boy Color came out,
Mm-hmm.
for a while, you could get a game that would play on both the Game Boy Color and the old Game Boy. And if you played it on a Game Boy Color, you got extra color palettes. You got,
Right.
the features of a Game Boy Color.
Right.
But if you played it on a Game Boy, you got to play the game essentially. You weren't like locked out of the game. And then eventually, after a while, they started making the special cartridges that would only work on a
For
Game Boy
Game Boy
Color.
Color.
Right. So maybe they could do that with the Switch too, where like games will work on both for a little bit, but then
And
after a
then
while,
after a
it won't.
while,
Yeah, it won't work on the old Switch.
I mean, that's something we've seen with some of the more. I want to say it's like, what is it? Was it 3DS, like Xenoblade Chronicles for the?
That one,
That's only. It's like
that,
only for that console. Like it
yeah,
didn't.
but
It,
that
it
one's
didn't work
really
both
weird.
ways.
That one's really weird
I
because
I
like,
feel like that's
yeah,
what's going to happen. They're going to have, in some ways, whatever that two model is. It'll backwards play everything, but there are only certain games that will run on that Switch 2
so
hardware.
that's like the Game Boy Color because the Game
This
Boy
is Game
Color
Boy
will
Color, yeah,
run. Yeah, the Game Boy Color will
yeah.
run everything. So
Yeah, and then
yeah.
they'll just have that. I guess the bigger question is, will they continue to sell the old Switch? Will they continue? Will all these models get an upgrade? Will there be a Switch Lite 2 with bigger, brighter, longer battery, kind of
Mm,
minimal thing with maybe hardware upgrades? Or it's kind of hard to say, but I feel like that's what's going to happen. Like everything gets more
yeah,
incremental with them with
I
this.
think if the DS line is like actually dead, then they need to keep the light line. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep the light line. And there's not much more that they can because I was trying to think about this too. Like, what else can they do with this form factor for the Switch? Like, the Switch is the Switch. I mean, I guess they could change how it docks, or like
I don't
what
know.
changes? Is
I
it just the
think the way
same
that it
thing?
docks is perfectly fine, to be honest.
Well, just
It's
to make
very convenient.
I'm just saying like to make it look like, hey, this is a Switch 2, not Switch 1.
I don't know really. I don't think they. I mean, Nintendo does what Nintendo does, really. But like, I think there's no need for Nintendo to like reinvent the wheel if it doesn't need to be reinvented, right? If the way that the Switch docks is perfectly fine, then just keep it that way. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh
Like,
yeah,
it's
yeah. I was just using the
yeah.
the dock for just a crazy
Like,
feature, but
what would make it different? Like, what would be a different fact? Yeah.
yeah, like would it look different in any sort of way, or would it just be like, because
Um.
it has to in some way kind of look different for people, for consumers to just be like, oh, this isn't that one.
Well, who knows? Like maybe if dual screen, folding screen tech like becomes like mature, which could still be a couple years from now, but if like folding screen tech becomes a little more mature, we could see that. We could see that in gaming console. Like I don't know.
That would actually be that would be pretty cool. Actually, that would be that would
I
be
think if
balling.
yeah, if folding screen tech, becomes mature, they could bring back the DS line,
Hmm, hmm.
and I think that would be a great use case.
Or even just a way like, hey, you got your Switch, you can here's the DS line of games that are playable on it as well now.
Yeah, but the problem is like if you dock it, like fucking TVs don't go in
Yeah, I
like
mean it's
portrait
like
mode, like
can
so yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. There's
that
a
would be
lot of
something.
screen technologies that not a lot, but I mean I've seen trends for screens come and go. First we had 3D screens that died pretty fast.
Yeah, that died real
Then
quick. People,
curved screens were a thing for a little bit. They still are if you are a PC gamer. You can still buy curved PC monitors, like they're still a thing. But
they're still around.
curved TVs though, curved TV, those are dead. Like
Those are dead. I think
yeah,
the only trend that stayed around for TVs is just super thin, like ultra thin,
yeah. I wouldn't say that's is that a trend? To me that just feels like a more natural like
a
progression of
natural
like
thing. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Out of
But
the trends that they try to push, like you said, 3D, that just came and gone, and yeah, I don't know. When you say folding screens, just to kind of clarify, you mean just like a DS kind of folding screen? Or you're
no,
talking
I
about
mean
like the
like a
screen
legitimate
folding,
like
like
the
Galaxy,
Samsung
the
Galaxy
Samsung.
Fold. Yeah,
Okay,
like an
okay.
actual folding screen. I know the screens exist, but I just don't think the tech is quite there yet. Like they're really good, don't get me wrong, but
Right.
like
Some of it's like the crease. Some of them have
yeah,
issues with the crease.
yeah, they're not quite there yet. So I want to say like when those screens get mature in like 2 to 3 years, we'll see. I don't, but
That would, yeah, I think that would be something that I think a lot of people will be kind of waiting for, or not, well, not waiting for, but be really pleasantly surprised to see if Nintendo were to do something with a folding screen. Maybe it's not the Switch 2, like, or whatever the next one is, but like the mid step for that console or whatever. That would be really cool. Like, I don't think they have to rush anything. They're selling, I mean, they're selling gangbusters enough to give us an OLED screen.
I'm glad that they added a new goddamn stand though. Like I don't know why they couldn't put that in sooner because the stand on the Switch is fucking garbage. It's disgusting. Like it
I, it,
falls off so easily.
it feels like
It's yeah.
it's that bad. It's that bad.
It's have you not seen it or felt it? It's
No, no, I
shit. Here, let me
no.
grab my Switch. It's
It's
so
gonna,
fucking awful. Here.
on-screen test of the Switch. See, this is why you stay around for the video version of the
So here's
podcast.
my Switch basically. Sorry, I have a skin on it back, but
Oh, okay.
like
I was like, why is your Switch opened?
yeah, no.
What
So
is the
so this right here, this is the actual kickstand, right? So
right?
if you want to prop it up, you just kind of like pry your thumbnail in here. God, it's so garbage.
Oh, is it
So
not an actual
that's it.
stand? Oh,
This is how far it goes.
goodness.
That's how far it goes. That's how far out it goes.
Why
That's how
did
far.
they?
And it's like that. Look at it. It's so bad.
Why did they do that? I mean, like they could have at least put one on the other side too. Like what? Who puts a one stand kickstand? This isn't a
It's
bicycle.
fuck.
It's
This is
not a
it. Like
bike.
this is the kickstand. And if you want to put this on a table, this is what's supporting your Switch. This is all that your
But
Switch
what
is
about the
supported
left
by.
side of the? What about the freaking
There's
left
nothing. Yeah, there's
side?
nothing here. Yeah.
What? It seems like they could have just literally made a design revision. Oh wait, that's what this is.
Like I don't know why it took them this long to be like, hey, maybe we should have a fucking proper kickstand. Like I don't know, like, okay, okay. But to be fair, I've literally used my Switch in tabletop mode like 0 times. So I
I,
guess jokes on me.
I guess
So
I guess whoever the higher engineer up there was
yeah,
like, someone was probably telling him like, yo, this is kind of shady. I mean, it's all right, man. Don't, but we should give them more. Now, trust me, they won't use it.
I mean, I mean it's shit, but
I mean,
yeah, I mean,
there's probably not a lot of people who I can't imagine there's a lot of people who use it in that mode, in tabletop mode. But who knows? I've never been to a
uh,
party. I've never been to a
I've
Switch
never
party
been
on
to
the
a
roof.
party. I don't have any friends. Yeah.
I've never been to the Switch party on the roof. You know.
I think if you're playing like certain games, like whatever the fuck, like World Game Collection, which has like some stuff you can do in tabletop mode, also some modes in Mario Party
Right. Right.
will let you use it. Then yeah, but I don't have friends, and so I've never used it. Or if you play the World Dance with You, like remaster on the Switch, it only plays in tabletop mode, and it's fucking
That
garbage.
sounds. Yeah. That sounds bad.
It's so bad. Yeah, I like that. I love that game. Don't get me wrong, but if you're gonna play, I think did we say this on the podcast? Or yeah,
Yeah.
if you're gonna
Yeah.
play World War with You, just dig it up. Like find the DS
Just
version
find the
because
DS version.
I hate it on the
I
Switch.
hope
It's
my
so bad.
DS. I hope my DSi battery doesn't blow up. I checked my PSP battery. It
Oh,
hasn't
is this?
blown.
Oh yeah.
It hasn't. It hasn't swelled. My DSi. I should check it. Just I don't know what's happened to it in the closet, but I do have The World Ends with You on it.
Oh, you should play it. It's really good. Yeah,
I
good game.
literally. That's the last game I probably bought from GameStop before I came to Japan.
You should play it. It's really really good game. I think it holds up still. I mean, it's like old Shibuya, like before
I mean, I
Shibuya
was.
Stream was there, and yeah.
I was gonna be like, I was never that uh on the details of.
Yeah, so the new, I think World Ends with You Neo, like the new one is coming out in like 2 weeks here. I think
Mhm.
it's modern Shibuya, so it has the new building that's next to the station, and it has Shibuya Stream and whatever else they added to Shibuya. But yeah,
Which is it's all good stuff. But I don't know. Anything else you want to say about the Switch Lite? I don't know if we. I don't think we tap
Switch
danced on
Lite
it.
or the
Oh,
Switch
sorry,
OLED.
Switch OLED. The Switch. I was gonna call it the Switch No LED.
I don't know. Like for me, I don't give a shit. Like for me, it's just like okay, that's cool, I guess. If you so here's what I can say about it. If you don't want to Switch, and I would say just buy it. Just buy it. Just buy it now. I don't think there's much more point in holding out for a Switch 2 because at this point it could be years off. You know what I mean? I
I
don't
feel like
think
this year's off. Yeah.
I don't think I mean they could. Nintendo could do whatever they want, but I don't think Nintendo would put up the OLED Switch in October this year and then like a calendar year later be like, "Okay, here's the Switch 2." They could. I don't think they will. So if you want to buy a Switch, just and you might as well hold out for the OLED if you already waited for this long. You might as well hold out for the OLED because when you do play that in handheld mode, then you appreciate it.
It is better. I will
But
say, like, if you look at it from that point of view, hey, you should probably get it. I'm still not getting it because they, I don't know, man. They might do. They might pull the Apple model on us. I don't think we're gonna get one every year. I see every other year, not forever, but I think 2 years from now we'll get the next Switch. But then again, I could go ahead and play Bayonetta 2 or go ahead and play
game's
maybe
not.
even Bayonetta 3. I don't
Bayonetta
know
3, like when that comes out, like who
what if
knows?
it
But yeah,
comes out.
yeah,
Play some of these games that I do want to play, even if it's only five, you know, five or less games. Um, it's better to do something now than to do it later. And I guess
yeah. I mean,
just
just like
look at
if
your
you're gonna
budgets.
just like get it now, I would say. If you have zero intentions of playing it in handheld mode, then sure, just get a Switch like now and then enjoy it. So I think maybe Nintendo doesn't want to do like a upgraded version because maybe they want to keep the playing field completely level for all Switch owners. Like they don't want people to be like, "Oh, I bought my Switch last year.
I feel like that's where they're gonna. That's me. That's me. I'm like, oh, I bought it last year. Darn it, there's a new one.
yeah, I mean, I bought my Switch maybe 2 years ago, but I played it for a total of like what 30 hours. That's it. So I'm like, I could have waited for this version, but I don't know.
To think I almost got the Monster Hunter version, which was really nice.
Well, I mean, that would have been cool. I mean,
It
I
would
gotta
have been
say,
cool.
here's what I do like about the Switch OLED. The dock looks pretty cool. It's
The white
bigger,
dock
it's
because it's
wider. Yeah,
okay.
it's got the curved corners. I think it looks cool. So
It's bigger white. It does have curved corners. I did not notice that.
yeah,
And if you wanted black and white, you can get black and white now. It does look. The dock does look really nice. The dock looks nice.
yeah. I wonder. I'm gonna wonder if those white controllers are gonna be ever sold separately, or if you can only get them with the Switch OLED.
That would
Because
that
Nintendo
would
actually
suck.
sells all of their Joy Cons separately. So even the Animal Crossing, I don't know if you remember this or not, but like last year when Animal Crossing came out, there was like the special Animal Crossing version of the Switch with a special dock. Comes with Animal Crossing pre-installed. Comes with these pastel
It
Joy
looks really
Cons.
nice.
Yeah,
It's
it does
really
look really nice.
nice.
But you could have actually just bought the Joy Cons separately if you didn't want to get like the full. If you already owned a Switch basically, and you like I don't want another Switch or whatever, so you could have just got the Joy-Con separately. So one of the white Joy-Cons will be sold separately.
I think so. I mean, it doesn't seem like something that they should just be like, oh no, this is. I feel like it. I feel like it can be and will be. This
Yeah,
might be a question of like if there's some timing in between it. Um, and kind of brought it up on the screen, but in a bad picture. But it looks nice. I gotta say, all their kind of limited edition ones have looked really good for
oh,
their
my favorite one
switches.
is the Dragon Quest one.
Let me pull that one up as
It's
well.
like covered in slimes. Like it looks pretty cool.
Dragon Quest Switch. I put Dragon Question
Dragon Question.
Switch. Yeah. The Dragon Question Switch. Oh wow, yeah, this one's pretty. Yeah, this is actually pretty ballin'. I'm not gonna lie, it's. I don't remember seeing this one for some reason, but it's
I
yeah,
like
it's
could
pretty
have
nice
got it
looking.
on Amazon, but then I'm like, I already own a Switch. What am I doing? So then I didn't get it.
Yeah, I gotta say all the like black switches, like the docks, anything with silver or kind of gold on it, looked really nice. And like you said, on the back of it, it's got all the little like all the slimes, and then even on the front on the Joy Cons, there's slimes too. But yeah, that looks nice. That's clean. That's actually clean.
Yeah, I like it a lot. It's pretty cool.
That's good stuff.
Um, I can't think of anything else.
I can't either. There's literally so little to say about this thing that we cannot say anything more. 80. I hope we did you. I hope we gave you a little
I
laugh
think
somewhere
did he
in
want
there.
us to like completely shit on it? Because
I
like
yeah, just like Nintendo, what are you doing releasing a
I'm
Vita
not
in
like upset or
2021?
anything. I'm not upset. I guess I'm just like underwhelmed. But
Does that
here's the
feel
thing though.
it's like worse or better?
But I'm like, I was never in the market for a Switch Pro. I was probably not gonna get one. Is the thing. So
Yeah,
it like doesn't affect me. I wasn't holding out for it or anything like that.
I think people just wanted to be right. I think people just wanted to be right. They wanted to see. They wanted to believe. And that, friends, is a lesson in hope.
Yeah.
Dang. There you go. Always
What's
have
what's
it.
the lesson? Like don't hope is
Don't
what you're
don't
trying to say? Is that what you're
hope.
trying to say? Like don't
There
hope?
there was a dark lesson of don't hope. But I'm like,
Yeah.
no, you gotta keep hope alive. It's gonna happen one day. And if you're
Keep hope
choosing to
alive. Isn't
wait,
that the tagline of Republic?
oh, the game?
Yeah.
Uh,
Because the
maybe.
main character's name is Hope, and you have to like guide her to safety. So it was like kind of like a play on words. Keep hope
Oh,
alive.
yeah, I guess it probably is keep hope alive. Keep hope alive. I've only known one person in my life named Hope.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I only know one Hope.
Oh, it's also a song by the Crystal Method. It's also just generally a quote that people say.
Keep hope alive. Yeah,
Republic, Republic.
I should play it on VR now that
Oh, you should actually.
I should
Yeah.
just play it on VR. Which they a couple other things that came out. I think Moss 2 was unveiled. We actually didn't talk about the PlayStation uh state of play that happened last week as
Oh yeah.
well.
What did they
I mean,
announce? Because I.
it was nothing. I mean, like they said beforehand, it was focusing on third party games and um yeah. I mean, if they showed I think a walkthrough of Deathloop, so if you wanted to see some
Oh
Deathloop,
yeah, that's what was on. That was
uh
the internet thing.
yeah, it has
Deathloop, which is
a
okay. Cool.
a timed exclusive, which we knew about, but I think it ends in October, like a year later, essentially.
And then it's
And
coming
then
to PC and Xbox.
an Xbox,
Or
correct?
no, it's timed exclusive on console. So I think it's PlayStation 5 and PC, right?
Maybe
And then
something like
Xbox
that.
a year
And then
later.
Xbox.
Maybe
Yeah, I think
like
they showed a little bit
Deathloop.
more of a director's cut for Death Stranding.
Yeah,
Not too
it's
much, honestly.
yeah, it's PS5 and PC, and then a year later Xbox gets it. Okay.
Okay, okay,
And Death
but
Stranding, yeah, Death Stranding director's cut, which honestly is there's a lot of stuff they're adding. So
yeah, you can race in there. Apparently, there's like
there's a racing mode. They have upgraded melee, but the Cyberpunk and the Half-Life content that was in
oh,
the
the
PC
DLC.
version.
Okay,
Yeah. So
is
the
those
PC
extended?
version of Death Stranding got the Cyberpunk related items and stuff, and the Half-Life related stuff that's coming to console now with the director's cut, and some I think there's like a bunch of just Metal Gear themed kind of things. But so I think PS5 is getting it, and then it's like a $10 upgrade for PS4.
Which isn't bad. I mean, just to go ahead and get it. Maybe there's hopefully there's an upgrade for PC. I have it on PC. We'll see.
Oh, you?
Um,
Oh, yeah. You
yeah,
really?
yeah, I own it for PC. I just got it on sale because I told you anything that I know it can look better, run better now. I just buy
On
it on
PC, then
PC.
you're gonna get on PC.
I just
I think okay. So the PS5 director's cut content that is performance related. So stuff like targeting 4K 60 or whatever. That's by default on PC, just with the nature of PC games. If
right,
you have
right,
better hardware, it runs better. That's just it. There's no paywall for that, or there shouldn't be
right,
at
right.
least. So that kind of director's content, that's the same as the PC version, basically. But the actually maybe the PC version, aside from the melee and the racing mode, it's the same as the PC version because you have Cyberpunk content, you have
Sam,
Half-Life
man,
content, and you
give me my
have yeah.
just give me the melee upgrades, and I'll be a
Yeah,
happy
that's a good question. Like,
happy walker.
that's a very good question. So PS4 owners have to pay money for most of that stuff, basically, right?
Right, right.
PC players already have most of that stuff. So is it also going to be a paid upgrade, or are PC players going to get it for free?
The last little bit of the patch. Are they just gonna get a
Yeah, like
patch? That's a good question.
the melee and the racing mode. Like, is it going to be a free,
It seems like there's
content drop or?
more to this DLC or the director's cut than they're. It seems like they're slowly showing more and more of it. So
Yeah,
I
but
know
if
there's
it's
more story stuff in there as well. There's
yeah, if
some
it's
new
a ten
missions
dollar
there.
upgrade for PS4, what's a fair upgrade price for PC for people who already have some of that content?
5.
5 bucks?
If yeah, if they have if most of it is actually already there, then like $5. Just give me the DLC, like the missions, the racing mode, and
Racing mode, yeah. Yeah.
stuff.
I just
What's up with stuff we didn't ask for this week?
I just feel like upgraded melee shouldn't be a feature. I just
It's
feel
a
like it
patch.
should.
That's a patch. That's a
Yeah.
patch. That's not a feature. That's a patch.
I just feel like it should just be like stuff that's given to you, but
It,
I don't know.
it should be. That's
I can understand like, oh, we spent like resources making this stupid fucking racing mode, and you don't have to play it, but if you want it, pay for it. Melee though, yes, obviously it's not free. It doesn't manifest itself. You have to pay people to like
that's like that's
make it.
the
But
thing that you do every like I don't want to say day to day in the game, but like that's a norm like that's a normal action you do
yeah,
regardless of it being an
yeah.
extra feature.
And like, but I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I do understand that. Like, no, the game doesn't make itself. Like, you have to pay people to like make
Right.
upgraded melee. You have to do mocap for it and coding for it and that kind of stuff. Like, it's
It's
not
very true. It's not just like a
magic.
one stop. Hey, we programmed it and it's
Yeah,
there.
it's not like a
It's working.
toggle. It's not like a toggle in the code. It's like better melee. Like flip
Tweak the
that to like
damage numbers. It does more damage. Or something.
yeah,
No,
like
no, you,
flip that to one, then so it's like better melee turned on. Like it doesn't happen like that. I know
yeah. I mean,
you gotta pay people to like make it, but I just feel like I feel weird paying for that, if you know what I mean.
hey man, I
Yeah.
know what you mean. But yeah, that was pretty much it that happened for last week, and we'll probably just keep it short for right now. You can find us at Twitter at UGP underscore cast. Same for Instagram, and like I said, follow the YouTube and just subscribe.
Yeah,
We
click
have a
that
little.
subscribe button, click on that bell notification to know that when we to get notified when we start streaming or when we upload any shorts that might be on the channel.
That's right.
Yeah, so
Me
you
and
just
my
gotta do it.
me and them shorts. I did finish up. Me and my friend we did finish up. Crap. It Takes Two. I would highly suggest if you. I mean for you and your girlfriend. It's a great game. It's a fun game,
Oh yeah.
and you only need one copy. It's automatically split screen, like couch co-op split screen. It's a fun game, and I gotta say I was pleasantly like 100% surprised just by how long it was, how much stuff you get to do in it, and how kind of funny and charming it is. Just everything about it was just really solid. It's abnormally solid for that game.
Okay, that's cool.
So, I mean, if anyone's looking for a game to play with, just anyone in general, it's a fun ride.
Or you can play critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy 14, a free trial lasts until level 60, and the first expansion, Heaven's Sword.
Square Enix sponsors us.
I don't care. Yeah, I mean,
It's
I
good
just still
stuff
can't
though.
believe that like when I was playing 14, I paid a monthly sub for like that game, and I was playing all the Heaven's Sword content. They're just giving like I played like hundreds of hours. They're just giving you that for free now. I'm like, damn, that's insane.
It's a good
That's
deal.
actually insane.
It's a
Yeah.
crazy deal. So yeah, listen to Alex if you want to get into an MMO or just play some more Final Fantasy without being, I don't know, boggled down by some of the Final Fantasy characters. Like you just want your own character. You want to
Yeah, if
be
you
the
don't give a
character.
shit, if you don't give a shit with Final Fantasy, 14 is the best one to play, to be
Go ahead and
honest.
let it rock. The music is amazing. I gotta say I
Yeah.
was just working to the music today. So
Hey,
uh,
speaking of Final Fantasy, just really quickly, I guess to wrap up. I mean, apparently the English recording for 16 is almost done.
oh, that game's almost done.
Yeah. Oh, the story's almost
The
done.
story's
So
almost done. But
they said
that's
they
stuff that
finished. I
story
guess
happens.
that goes first. I mean, so they said they're almost done recording all of the English lines for 16,
What?
and
I don't know. I don't know how they do it.
all the scenarios are like set in stone. So
I guess
they have the
I
story
guess
done. The
so.
story's done and the recording's done. So now that's left is I guess
The
the game.
game? That's really strange. Usually, like they either start doing that later in the process. I feel,
Yeah.
but for simultaneous releases for these big games, who knows how they kind of do it now, but that's interesting. That's cool.
It just depends on your priorities. Like, is the story a priority for you, or is the game a priority for you? I think Nintendo is a backwards. Nintendo will like make a game, and then they'll like, okay, how can we, what story can we write to this, basically.
I mean, yeah, there's like a because the story can always change
I
or
think that's how they made Breath of the Wild, if I'm not mistaken. Like they just made a game, and then they're like, okay, now we have to make a story for this. But 16 obviously is the opposite. So
oh, there we go. Well, as long as they know what they want and what they like, and I assume that the levels are loosely based around the story in that case, so you don't need to kind of worry about some of the things like, hey, this happened in the story, it needs to be in the game. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, for 16?
well, yeah, I mean, just in general, it.
I mean, they could cut. I mean, they cut like a shitload of content for 15, so I wouldn't be surprised if they cut a bunch
They
of stuff
could
for
just cut
16.
it
So
and
yeah.
just good director's cut. Director's
Oh
cut.
man, 15. What a tragic tale, dude. They had so much story planned for that. Damn. Anyways,
Anyways,
yeah.
unlike 15, we are not cutting any content. Oh, we are. We're cutting out right now. We're gonna be gone, but don't worry, we'll be back because our content is everlasting.
Not really true, but sure. Okay.
Yeah. Well, we'll be back next week for episode number 93 of the Unknown Games podcast, where we are going to probably talk about whatever. Maybe we'll talk about some food. Maybe we'll talk about something here in Japan.
Yeah, we should. Nugget deal starts in 2 days. Back at
Again?
McDonald's. 2 new sauces. So
Again?
we can. Yep.
Oh,
Nugget
jeez.
deals in 2 days and 2 new sauces. So we can talk about that next week, maybe.
That's what I'm going to do with my newly found shot freedom. We get shot tomorrow.
Get
Gonna get a
shot in the face.
shot.
He's dying.
I'm gonna get a shot. I'm not gonna get shot. I'm not gonna get shot. I'm gonna get a shot.
Yeah.
We get my vaccine.
He's just getting executed. This is the last podcast ever. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll see you guys next week. We'll have a new host.
Hey, call it the degenerate. Call him up.
Degenerate kid. Yeah, the degenerate kid. That's funny. You know what? Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have him host an episode by himself, like just him.
We should do that.
That's funny.
Yes, that should be episode 101.
Yeah, he's gonna. Oh, that's season 2. Yeah.
Season 2.
Season
2. 101.
Yeah, let's do it. That's funny.
That's the plan. All right.
Yeah.
Well, we'll catch y'all later. Have a good night, day, evening, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Remember, go play some games, set the tone, or you set the tone. Go play some games. And peace. I snapped my finger.
Peace.
Wow.